YouTube, welcome back. I've got two new corals. Actually, I think I've got a couple of them that I haven't filmed since I've been filming the calcium reactor video. So I've got me my first, I believe they call it a blasto. And at first one of the guys at the pet stores, he was mistaking it for a acan. And the other guy's like, no, that's a blasto. And all of a sudden the price went from 55 jumped up a little bit, but it has several heads. 1, 2, 3, 4. It has like 5 or 6 heads. So I mean, it's an okay deal. You know, I kind of picked it out. I liked the color that it had. It's blue ring on it with a neon green inner to it. So it's pretty cool. I'll got a head on that side, and I also have my first leather coral. I think it's just a green leather, and that's what they call it. All these tentacles wore out just a few minutes ago, but I was cleaning my protein skimmer. No, my bio pellet reactor. I was cleaning there's a plastic grate, like a screen on the top, so a bunch of debris doesn't come through. So I was cleaning that and adjusting it. And it slipped out of my hand when it was wet, and it fell to the floor, and it snapped off the plumbing piece that comes through the top. So I'm waiting for some weld-on number 3 or number 4. I forgot what I ordered, but with an applicator. So I'm just gonna put that back together and get my bio pellet back on. It's actually been off for a week now. So my nitrates have went up a little bit. I added a little bit of teaspoon of sugar. To keep the not the phosphates. My nitrates have went up since the bio pellet's reactor's been down for a week. Not much. They're creeping up a little bit, and it's kind of an issue. So the sugar, when I added the a spoonful of sugar, it makes it cloudy for a little while, a couple hours, and then it goes away. But it's it'll reduce the nitrates for sure. And then I know I haven't shown you this. But on the 4th of July, I was out. I had a few days off, and when I came back from Laughlin, my SPS started to white out. It did all that when I was gone, and what happened was, stuff always happens when you're on vacation. It just you just can't avoid it. But so what happened was my auto feeder for the fish was dropping too many pellets in, and the phosphates jumped up, and I think the nitrates jumped up too, and them being up a little bit now. So I changed out my phospan. I added a little extra. I got that up and running. So today's the 20th. For about a week and a half now, there's been no detectable phosphates. It hasn't. It's not really turning white anymore in different areas. It's kind of stopped. I don't know what'll happen. That was my first real SPS, except for this one, and this one's still living. None of that. He's got tentacles out now. I don't know how well he's doing, but I'm not going to show him off. He seems like he's growing. He does have some light green, lime green on the tip, so he might be growing a little bit. This is the one where that tang was eating it, and all the zoas have grown back in the center. I'd have to go back to know exactly where he ate all the zoas off, but it looks full to me again. So that's pretty cool. Also, another update was happening in tank. Green hair algae from before, before it was green bubble algae. And I did the whole crab thing, and that was a complete epic fail, the crabs. And the crabs ate the zoas. And then after that I have green hair algae, and that was from not changing my GFO out before. And then for the 4th of July, I had another little, the phosphates jump up again, and that's what did that to that coral. But I got the phosphates back in line. Now I'm dealing with nitrates, so it's always something. That's the love of it. There's always something to contend with. something to learn, always something to try, that's for sure. And so here's a look at the zoas. You know what? Let me pause right here. I'm going to put the overhead garage light, so maybe the color will come out a little bit, so you guys can see it a little bit better in the camera. Because I've been running the blue lights to combat with the green hair. Now I don't have any really high phosphates anymore, so I've been slowly taking the rocks out. Because right here, you know, I'll show you. There's quite a bit. This is what all the rocks it looked like in all the rocks, but I've been taking them out, taking off, you know, whatever frags were growing on it, taking those off, running in really hot water on it, using a toothbrush, cleaning all that off, and I'll show you the other side. I mostly did work on the other side, and let me go to some new corals. Oh, this is a new coral since. You guys seen it? That one's an acan. That one's a blue and red one. The one where on to the right where it died out, I had bought it like that, but it was only like 25 bucks, or I think it was less. I think it was 20 because that part of it had died out on it. So that's one. I think there's 3 heads on that, so that's not bad. And I'm pretty sure I paid 20 for it, which is a pretty good deal. Here's my existing one. They're all pretty much shriveled up because I put the sugar in there, and it immediately reacts with nitrates and stuff. And it also you don't want to put too much. It'll always cloud the water up a little bit, but you don't want the water getting too cloudy, because that's a lot of it drops the oxygen, I believe, and it also adds a lot of bacteria and stuff that'll consume it. But you're just messing with the chemistry a little bit too much if you add too much sugar. It's just like adding too much vodka in there all at once. You got to start out really slow. So those ones look pretty good. Now that one, if you can you tell from this angle? Can't really tell from this angle because the original frag was kind of on the back side. So this is growth off the frag and kind of starting to consume the rock. And I'll show you another rock that. Okay, see that little mound in the center? That's the original frag. And all those zoas, it's like 10 times the size I bought it before. And all those are just taken off. So I do want to add, and those are orange in the true lighting. From what I see, those are orange with pink in the center. I want to add a couple other colors to this rock too before all those take over, because it's a pretty large rock. So let me zoom out for a minute so you guys can kind of tell what I'm talking about. So I've got these ones growing on it, and those ones, and I need something over here in this area, so it'll kind of be like a tricolor once it's done. Now remember the green hair I was telling you about? Here's a rock that I haven't cleaned. It's got some green hair here. Now here's all this is stuff that I've cleaned up with hot water and a toothbrush. I don't know if it comes back right away with that, but we'll see. Well, you know, I missed a couple spots, so I'll just missed a little edge right there. But I'll keep after it, and I'll win that battle just like all the other ones. It just, you got to keep after it. Those are those blue zoas I had from before. The first frag was a frag of 3 or 7, I just can't remember, but there's over 20 now right there. For some reason the zoas and softies, like acan, zoas, they all do pretty well in my tank. Here's one of my favorite. I think I had 2 on that frag, 2 or 3, and I've got about 8 or 10 on that little frag now. I like it because that one's yellow with blue, yellow, and then I think white in the very center. So it's pretty cool. Zoa head on there, you know. That's what you call them. Pretty good. So here's a little patch of no, not the coralline. Oh, there it is. See, I mean, I've got patches. I gotta still get out of here.